SCP-2998. Object Class: Safe. SCP-2998 is an anomalous radio signal picked up from all quarters of the solar system. It's not yet known where the origin of this signal is, or when it began its transmission, but the SCP Foundation made it a point to prevent all personal radios from detecting and listening to SCP-2998 until further research is conducted into the safety of the signal, as well as its origin. SCP-2998 is just a consistent electromagnetic signal which previews white noise at all times. No means have been found to decode the signal until 2011, when the signal was also found to contain a video transmission of a humanoid entity floating aimlessly in the dark room.
Oh, don't zoom in on that ugly face.
No background information has thus far been obtained about what this message could possibly mean, or why the message is being transmitted at all.
Ugh, I found something
But due to
uglier than that
bodily
broken down
gestures that
face.
the aforementioned humanoid was conducting, it can be presumed that whatever it was in clear physical distress.
Oh.
It was initially theorized that the Foundation may be picking up signals from a television show, though this was considered highly unlikely due to the random and complex encoding of the transmission. We simply do not know.
SCP-1875.
Broken. I can only hear up the
Object
left.
Class: Euclid.
Euclid.
SCP-1875 is a Victorian-era chess machine consisting of a steel chessboard table, a drive shaft, a stationary steam engine, and a suit of 18th century samurai armor.
What?
However, the machine itself is powered by a biological system that controls a matrix of 64 electromagnets using an engine created from the combined brain
big word.
tissue of the twin daughters of a Russian chess prodigy. A complete set of 32 pieces carved in the Oriental style from human bone, with each piece affixed to a thin 0.31 centimeter base pad of ferromagnetic iron. Effectively, the whole thing runs on the souls of the two little girls. It is said that the souls will perform illegal moves during a game and make illogical turns whilst playing. SCP-1875 containment permit no use of data network devices and a child psychologist to be present. The Euclid ranking of this SCP seems very appropriate, considering the fact that we do not fully understand how it works, nor why it works, nor what works within it. Only the premise is understood at this point.
Well, that was creepy. And I couldn't understand it.
SCP-823. Object Class: Euclid. SCP-823 is an abandoned amusement park located in a It is responsible for the deaths of an unfathomably large
Oh my
amount
god, I
of
must have
people,
made the worst face.
nicknamed Bloody
Oh
Sunday,
god.
because of the 231
Oh,
people dying in the theme park due to the accidents of staff members and customers alike. The majority of these deaths were horrifically violent. Some examples include a mascot found dead of suffocation, a group of people found decapitated on a roller coaster, a couple fused together on a ride, and a mutilated man found in the Hall of Mirrors. Foundation personnel are found surveying the area and are instructed to avoid an area known as the Red Zone. The Red Zone is an area where no one can enter, not even by those of the highest authority. It isn't stated as to why the Red Zone cannot be accessed, but it does claim that anyone who attempts to enter will be terminated by sniper fire. Should music or piping be heard emanating from within the Red Zone, Foundation personnel on site are immediately prepared to use protective earplugs and withdraw from their positions to a 2-kilometer period beyond the currently established Yellow Zone and inform Foundation scientific personnel immediately.
14.
SCP-1981. Object Class: Safe.
6 numbers away from being found next to it.
SCP-1981, or commonly referred to as Ronald Reagan cut up whilst talking, is a strange, distorted videotape of Ronald Reagan making his evil empire speech.
Evil Empire.
The tape itself is
know.
made from all the normal materials that you would expect to get from a Betamax tape. The tape was originally encountered by a filing clerk in the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in 1991, 11 years after this original speech was made. During the tape, Reagan's face seems to fall apart, cuts opening up on his face and eyes becoming bruised. The video continues until his vocal cords are severed. Occasionally, during the beginning of the tape, a figure clothed in black robes and a pointed hood appears in the background, which replaces another member of the press detail. SCP-1981 is kept inside of a secure video storage unit in the media archive of Site. Years of natural magnetic interference have severely degraded SCP-1981's signal quality, making it even more difficult to sift meaningful information from continued playbacks. SCP-342. Object Class: Euclid. SCP-342 normally takes the form of a mass transit ticket for the closest form of mass transportation to its current location. At the moment, it takes the form of a train ticket, departing from transit station. When held by a sentient person for any length of time, it will eventually change form into a transit ticket for a form of transportation that its holder desires to use. The transformation always takes place when not being directly or indirectly observed. No recordings of SCP-342 changing its form exist at this time. Anyone who uses SCP-342 to board a vehicle is unable to exit the vehicle by any means. When the vehicle reaches the end of its route, the one using the ticket will cease to exist in our reality. Any user of this SCP claims to feel extremely paranoid and have an uncomfortable and uncontrollable dread consume them. Specifically, the way in which they describe their emotions when in contact with the ticket resembles acute paranoid schizophrenia, as all will witness a perception of darkness outside of their vehicle, including a mass amount of fog or the portrayal of night. Witness reports claim that victims mumble to themselves or grow an intense fear of other passengers and the conductor. There have been several experiments with different transportation networks, each yielding different results.
Last one for now.
SCP-610. Object Class:
I don't like that sound.
Keter. SCP-610 is a contagious virus that starts out with a small rash, which will then lead to intense itching and skin sensitivity. However, after 3 hours, the skin disease will spread in such a way that skin will begin to scar and cover in blemishes around the chest and arm region, completely consuming the affected person after a full 5 hours of being infected. Following this is the life functions ceasing for a full 3 minutes before starting again at a rate of 2 or 3 times the regular activity rate for a standard human being.
You idiots.
This leads to the sprouting of several limbs, like a leg or an arm.
Well, it's like
The
Dead Space.
skin disease can affect one in such a way that the head will become so misshapen it will barely be recognizable as being a human. The victim will sit in one place and root itself to the surroundings that it is located in, consuming objects around it with his or her own flesh. The area that SCP-610 affects is close to Lake Baikal in southern Siberia, and it was first reported from the Russian government through undisclosable channels. The reports consisted primarily of disappearances of farmers in the region,
and were not considered until local police and government agents failed to report within a 72-hour period. Observation of SCP-610 infected settlements have been established using artificial methods such as remote robots and drones. The data returned from these observations, coupled with the openly aggressive nature of the infected to attempt to spread SCP-610, has resulted in the Keter classification. However, so long as nothing is allowed to enter or leave the infected areas, it is considered to be a neutralized threat.
Well, that was interesting. Whoever wanted me to do this, don't talk to me anymore. Ugh. Oh man, that was bad. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe, do whatever. I'll see you all next time. Bye.